The WWE SmackDown Women's Championship has been won by 12 superstars since the championship was introduced in 2016. The first ever SmackDown Women's Champion was Becky Lynch, while the current SmackDown Women's Champion at the time we released this video is Charlotte Flair. In this video, we rank every SmackDown Women's Champion from worst to best based on their SmackDown Women's Championship reign. In 12th place we have Natalya, who has held the SmackDown Women's title once for 86 days in 2017. Natalya earned a SmackDown Women's title match at SummerSlam after winning a Fatal 5-Way at the 2017 Battleground event. At SummerSlam 2017, Natalya managed to defeat Naomi to win the SmackDown Women's title. This title reign proved to be quite underwhelming as her only successful defense came against Naomi in a rematch on SmackDown in September. At the 2017 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Natalya kept her title in a match against Charlotte after getting disqualified. On the November 14, 2017 episode of SmackDown, Natalya dropped the title to Charlotte to end her only SmackDown Women's title run. In 11th place we have Asuka, who has held the SmackDown Women's title once for 99 days. Asuka started 2018 by winning the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. She used this title shot to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title, however Asuka was unsuccessful. Asuka had to wait till the very end of 2018 to win the SmackDown Women's title, as she did so in a tables, ladders and chairs match against Charlotte and Becky Lynch at the 2018 TLC event. The highlight of Asuka's title reign was her successful title defense against Becky Lynch at the 2019 Royal Rumble. Asuka then successfully retained against Mandy Rose at 2019 Fastlane. WWE didn't seem to have much planned for Asuka's title reign, which led to Asuka dropping the title to Charlotte 12 days before WrestleMania 35. In our opinion, Asuka deserved a better SmackDown Women's title reign. In 10th place we have Naomi, who was a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion for a combined 147 days in 2017. Naomi won her first championship in WWE after defeating Alexa Bliss at the 2017 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Unfortunately, Naomi had to vacate the title 9 days later on SmackDown due to a knee injury she suffered during her title win. Naomi returned to WWE by WrestleMania 33 and was able to reclaim the SmackDown Women's title by defeating Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Carmella. 2 days later Naomi retained on SmackDown against Alexa Bliss. The rest of Naomi's reign proved to be underwhelming as WWE's focus went towards the rest of the SmackDown Women's roster. This included a feud with Lana, which saw Naomi retain several times until Naomi lost the title to Natalya at SummerSlam 2017. In 9th place we have Alexa Bliss, who was a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion for a combined 109 days. In the later months of 2016, Alexa Bliss became the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's title. This resulted in Alexa Bliss winning her first ever championship at the 2016 TLC pay-per-view as she defeated Becky Lynch in a tables match to become the second SmackDown Women's Champion ever. Alexa spent the next month doing all she could to avoid a rematch, before she was required to in a steel cage match as she defeated Becky Lynch with some assistance from the returning Mickie James. Alexa Bliss dropped the title to Naomi at Elimination Chamber but won the title back 9 days later due to Naomi vacating the title after defeating Becky Lynch on SmackDown. 40 days later Naomi reclaimed the title at WrestleMania 33 in a six-pack challenge to end Alexa's second SmackDown Women's title reign. We ranked Alexa Bliss higher in our recent video ranking the greatest Raw Women's Champions ever, which you can check out after this video. In 8th place we have Liv Morgan, who has held the SmackDown Women's title once for 97 days in 2022. Liv Morgan spent the first half of 2022 working her way up the card as she showed signs she was ready for the opportunity. Liv was rewarded as she won the 2022 Money in the Bank match and cashed in later that night on Ronda Rousey to win the SmackDown Women's title. The title win was well received by fans as it was clear that Liv Morgan had earned it. Liv Morgan's first defense was at SummerSlam 2022 as she defeated Ronda Rousey in controversial fashion. Liv Morgan's next defense was against Shayna Baszler at Clash at the Castle in the United Kingdom. Following this, Liv developed a more extreme gimmick to prepare for her Extreme Rules match with Ronda Rousey at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Unfortunately, Liv was unsuccessful and lost the title. Liv Morgan carried herself well as champion and looked like she belonged in that picture. In 7th place, we have Ronda Rousey, who is a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion for a combined 138 days in 2022. Ronda Rousey returned to WWE by winning the 2022 Royal Rumble. She unsuccessfully challenged Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 38, but she was able to win the rematch at Backlash in an I Quit match to win the SmackDown Women's title. After title defenses on SmackDown against Raquel Rodriguez and a Money in the Bank pay-per-view defense against Natalya, Liv Morgan cashed in moments later to win the title. At the Extreme Rules 2022 pay-per-view, Ronda defeated Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match to reclaim the title. After successfully retaining against Emma, Shotzi, and Raquel, a returning Charlotte Flair defeated Ronda Rousey for the title on the final SmackDown of 2022. In 6th place, we have Bianca Belair, who has held the SmackDown Women's title once for 132 days in 2021. After winning the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match, Bianca picked Sasha Banks to face for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania 37. The match main event night 1 of WrestleMania and proved to be an all-time classic. Bianca Belair defeated Sasha Banks to win the SmackDown Women's title to close the show. Bianca retained the title over the following months against Bayley at Backlash and then at Hell in a Cell match. In July 2021, Bianca retained twice against Carmella on SmackDown. At SummerSlam 2021, Sasha Banks was supposed to get her rematch only to be replaced last minute by Becky Lynch. Becky ended up defeating Bianca in 26 seconds. In 5th place, we have Carmella, who has held the SmackDown Women's title once for 130 days in 2018. Carmella won the first ever Women's Money in the Bank match in 2017. WWE stripped Carmella of the briefcase, however she won the second ever Women's Money in the Bank the following week. Carmella cashed in Money in the Bank on Charlotte Flair 2 days after WrestleMania 34 to win the SmackDown Women's title. Carmella successfully defended the title against Charlotte Flair at Backlash and then twice against Asuka at Money in the Bank 2018 and Extreme Rules. Carmella dropped the title at SummerSlam 2018 to Charlotte Flair in a match that also featured Becky Lynch. In our opinion, Carmella's reign is the most entertaining SmackDown Women's title reign to date. Her character work as champion was brilliant as she proved she deserved to be SmackDown Women's Champion. Before we move on the top 4, we would quickly like to recommend some of our other recent videos highlighting some of the greatest superstars, matches, and moments of 2022. You might notice something interesting about this upcoming top 4. In 4th place, we have Becky Lynch, who is a 4-time SmackDown Women's Champion for a combined 278 days. Becky Lynch became the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion at Backlash 2016 by defeating Carmella, Nikki Bella, Natalya, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss. Becky's only defense came at a November 2016 episode of SmackDown as she retained against Alexa Bliss. She lost the title to Alexa Bliss in a tables match the following month at TLC. Becky Lynch won the SmackDown Women's title for the second time at Hell in a Cell as she defeated Charlotte Flair. Becky retained the title against Charlotte at Super Showdown and then Evolution, which was an all-time classic, before dropping the title to Asuka in a TLC match at the 2018 TLC pay-per-view. Becky's third SmackDown Women's title reign began at WrestleMania 35 as she defeated Charlotte and Ronda Rousey to win both the SmackDown and Raw Women's titles in the main event. This reign ended 1 month later to Charlotte at Money in the Bank 2019. Becky's 4th reign occurred after she made a shocking return to WWE at SummerSlam 2021 by defeating Bianca Belair in 26 seconds. Becky swapped the title for the Raw title in October 2021. In our recent video ranking the greatest Raw Women's Champions, Becky may have ranked a little higher. In 3rd place, we have Sasha Banks, who held the SmackDown Women's title once for a combined 167 days. Sasha Banks' one reign as SmackDown Women's Champion proved to be greater than her 5 Raw Women's title reign combined. Sasha Banks' SmackDown Women's title reign started at the 2020 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view after she defeated Bayley in a Great Hell in a Cell match. Sasha and Bayley had a rematch on the November 6th edition of SmackDown. This was Sasha's first ever singles title defense on the main roster. Sasha's fantastic work continued as she had 2 very good title defenses against Carmella at TLC 2020 and Royal Rumble 2021. She even defeated Reginald in between these matches. Sasha even managed to get a good match out of Nia Jax as she retained her title on a March 2021 edition of SmackDown. Sasha Banks entered the WrestleMania 37 main event as SmackDown Women's Champion and was defeated by Bianca Belair in an all-time classic. In second place we have Charlotte Flair, who is a 7-time SmackDown Women's Champion and is the current champion as of Royal Rumble 2023 weekend. Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's title for the first time by defeating Natalya on the November 14, 2017 edition of SmackDown. During this reign, Charlotte retained against Natalya at Clash of Champions, Ruby Riott at Fastlane, and Asuka at WrestleMania 34 before dropping it to Carmella due to a Money in the Bank cash-in. Charlotte reclaimed the title at SummerSlam 2018 only to lose it a month later at Hell in a Cell to Becky Lynch. On the March 26, 2019 edition of SmackDown, Charlotte won her third SmackDown Women's title before dropping it in the WrestleMania 35 main event to Becky Lynch. Charlotte reclaimed the title at Money in the Bank 2019 only to lose it minutes later to Bayley via Money in the Bank cash-in. Charlotte beat Bayley to win the title back at the 2019 Hell in a Cell event but lost the title the following SmackDown back to Bayley. In October 2021, Charlotte swapped the Raw Women's title for the SmackDown Women's title. Charlotte managed to retain against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 38 before losing at Backlash to Ronda. Charlotte returned on the final SmackDown of 2022 and defeated Ronda to kick off her 7th SmackDown Women's title reign, which is currently ongoing as we record this. In first place we have Bayley, who is a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion for a combined 519 days. After winning the 2019 Women's Money in the Bank match, Bayley cashed in later that night on Charlotte to win the SmackDown Women's title for the first time. During Bayley's first run, she defeated Alexa Bliss at Stomping Grounds. She defeated Nikki Cross and Alexa in a handicap match at Extreme Rules. She retained over Ember Moon at SummerSlam 2019 and against Charlotte at Clash of Champions 2019 before dropping the title to Charlotte at 2019 Hell in a Cell. The following SmackDown, Bayley reclaimed the title to start her record-breaking 380-day reign as SmackDown Women's Champion. In 2020, Bayley retained against Lacey Evans at Royal Rumble, Naomi at Super Showdown, Sasha, Tamina, Naomi and Lacey at WrestleMania 36, Tamina at Money in the Bank, Nikki Cross at Extreme Rules, and against Asuka at SummerSlam and Clash of Champions. Bayley's title reign ended at the 2020 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view after Bayley lost her title inside Hell in a Cell to Sasha Banks. Go check out our other recent videos. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thank you for watching.